Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to reiterate that this is the moment when every Kenyan would wish to be a lawyer because we are dealing with very delicate constitutional matters. For those who are not lawyers, they have grabbed their copies of the Constitution, both hard copy and soft copies. And the reason why this is happening is because we are dealing with very delicate constitutional matters that requires each and every person to understand what is happening. I want us to read this headline. Wandai elevation to cabinet pushes by-elections to 11. And this was a publication of Tuesday, August 13th of 2024. August. We are in October. And this publication is explaining that when Opiyo Wandayi was appointed to be a cabinet secretary in the Ministry of Energy, his constituency, that is Ugunja, was added to the basket of the constituencies and the wards that are pending by-elections. I just want to read two of them. Two parliamentary seats that fell vacant are Banisa constituency, where the MP Hassan Kulo was killed in a road accident in March, and I want you to get that, in March 2020, in March 29th, 2023, while the Supreme Court upheld the nullification of the election of Magarini MP Harrison Kombe on May 31st. Those are just but a few constituencies that are pending by elections. The member of parliament of Busia died in a road accident, and in Banisa constituency, the Supreme Court upheld the nullification of the Magarini MP Harrison Kombe. The reason I'm reading this is because I want to ask you a question. Why do you think a total of 11 constituencies and wards are pending by election and we cannot conduct any election? It is not by accident, because some of these fell vacant as far as March, and up to date, we cannot conduct a by-election. Why? That is the question that I want to ask you. Even if you are not a lawyer, you will know that the only, and I'm saying the only because there is no any other reason why we haven't conducted elections in those positions, elected positions, in those constituencies and wards, is because the IEBC, as currently constituted, cannot conduct any election. That is true. Now, because we only have a secretariat now, the commissioners are not there, and therefore they cannot conduct. And the reason I brought this point, this is a point of discussion. I have a feeling that Kindiki's nomination into the position of a deputy president is going to be nullified. And let me tell you the reason why this will be nullified. Several people are trying to debate around 3 or 4 issues. And I want us to look at them, then I will come back to the IEBC. And I want to know whether Kithure stands any chance. One, we are being told that before one is appointed into such an office, he must resign. When the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula, was announcing to the floor that William Ruto had contacted him over the nomination of Kithure Kindiki, he mentioned that William Ruto had sought the clarification, had sought the clearance of, HELB, the IEBC, and all those institutions. But he did not mention whether Kithure Kindiki has resigned or not. And we therefore assume that Kithure Kindiki is still the Interior Cabinet Secretary. And if that is true, then it means that even on that account alone, Kithure Kindiki cannot be accepted, or that nomination into that office, however much they rushed to ratify him in the National Assembly, it cannot stand ground if our courts will be honest. Number two, there is this argument that before you are nominated into an elective position, you must belong to a particular party that is nominating you into that office. In this sense, UDA, 3 months before that nomination. And lawyers are arguing, and they are divided on this, that the moment Kithure Kindiki was appointed into the position of the interior cabinet, he ceased to be a member of the UDA. And therefore, if he ceased to be a member of the UDA, by the time he was being appointed, he was not a member of the UDA. But another school of lawyers, and lawyers will tell you the law is very clear. The pro and the opponent will tell you it is very clear. Another school of thought says that the only thing that you relinquish is any position in that party. For example, like John Mbadi, who is now the CS of finance, that the law requires him to relinquish his position because he was the chairman of ODM, that the only thing that the law bars you is to hold a position. So there are those two schools of thought. One is that you cease to be a member, but the other says you only cease to hold any political position. If it is true that you cease to be a member, and I know this is going to form a very heated political battle between people like Orenga, Mutinda Molo, and Elisha Ongoya and Ndegwa. Now, there is this, I want us to go back to the IEBC. If IEBC cannot conduct an election because they are not properly constituted, then who gave the IEBC the mandate to clear Kithure Kindiki? Because we are told he was cleared by the IEBC. So, according to the Constitution, does the Secretariat have any authority to clear someone who is to be nominated or elected? Because if they cannot conduct that which is only reserved to the commissioners, how then they want to say that they can usurp these powers and clear Kithure Kindiki? I'm arguing as someone who's not a lawyer, but I'm trying to look at our constitution. And that's why I'm saying that it is going to be very difficult for Kithure Kindiki to pass this test, the prerequisite test in the Court of Justice. Now, if the Secretariat cannot declare, then it means the declaration that was made by Marjan is null and void. Number two, there is going to be an argument that William Ruto and the IEBC Secretariat acted in breach of the law, of the Constitution, and therefore Hussein Marjan stands to be prosecuted because, knowing very well that they cannot clear Kithure Kindiki, they did it intentionally. And therefore, I know the lawyers are going to request that Hussein Marjan be prosecuted. Since William Ruto is a president and he is above the law, I think he's not above the law really, sorry, he is immune to arrest and prosecution, I think. The only thing that can be done to him, because he cannot be arrested until he's out of office, there can be an impeachment motion. But impeachment now cannot work because William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, they have the numbers in parliament. That is why they rushed to punish Rigathi Gachagua. If we were in a democratic country where people vote with their conscience, then William Ruto would have been, prosecuted by way of impeachment. The other thing that is coming in question, let's say Marjan Hussein has got that authority to clear Kithure Kindiki and to declare the position of the deputy president vacant. Another breach of the Constitution comes in this way. They knew very well that we had a case in court. What was the rush? Why could they wait? Because you cannot declare a position vacant when there is still a process that is active in court. Because you are anticipating that already the courts will declare or rather kick away Rigathi Gachagua. They should have waited. And therefore, even if they have the mandate, Kithure Kindiki should be, disqualified because of this act from the IEBC. They should have waited until the court process is over. How do they know by the time they are clearing Kithure Kindiki, by the time they are declaring the position of the deputy president vacant? How did they know the result that is going to come out of court? And so, ladies and gentlemen, on this, and I stand to be corrected, I've seen lawyers, people like Okuro Court and many other lawyers arguing on social media. They're saying this is not possible, this is possible. Both of them are saying, the law is very clear. So we wait and see. But from where I sit, if you ask me, not because of the love of Gachagua, no. I'm not talking about individuals now. I'm talking about the constitution and how we need to uphold our constitution so that we don't favor people because maybe the president wants them. We cannot break the constitution because of some personal interests. I mean, it's wrong. Wait and see. It is going to form a legal battle. A legal battle. It might not end well for Kithure Kindiki. And from where I sit, I feel that Kithure is going to be disqualified and William Ruto is going to be humiliated.